My name is Johnny Jacks, and I was born 5 months before D-Day. I'm 74 at the time of this video being made. My parents were sharecroppers, so I lived a self-reliant lifestyle until I was about 10 years old, which was in 1954. In 1961, I went into the military, 17th birthday. I put 22 years in the military, in the Army, and 15 years of that was in Special Forces. I'm an old Green Beret, so I've got a guerrilla warfare background. After getting out of the Army, I eventually got into national security, emergency preparedness. I spent 25 years in that. So I have the self-reliant background, the warfare background, and national security emergency preparedness background. I've lived on every continent, or spent extensive time on every continent but Antarctica. Lived among people who live right on the edge of survival in places like Central and South America, Indonesia, Africa, and of course in that Southeast Asia. I put a tour in Vietnam. So I've been exposed to those types of backgrounds. So that's my background. And at one time in my life, I thought, well, before I die, I need to write a book. And so I wrote Absolute Anarchy. I got into prepping, and I wrote this book, Absolute Anarchy, and it is the most comprehensive prepper study guide in print. I have it interfaced to the internet, and it's a 5-part book. Part 1 tells you what can bring about a state of anarchy. Part 2 tells you what to do as an individual to get ready for it. And Part 3 goes into group survival techniques. Part 4 touches on militia organization operations. Part 5 gets into your Judeo-Christian moral and ethical issues you would run into, especially during the diet. And I also have a supplemental read, the last chapter in the book, that tells you how we arrived at the situation we're in today with our divided country, moving from capitalism into socialism. And that's what Absolute Anarchy is all about. The website itself expands upon the information in the book. When I started writing the book, I thought I could put it into about 300 pages, and once I got into about well over 500 pages, I cut it back to under 500, and I took the additional information that you need and incorporated websites, the book has its own website, AbsoluteAnarchyBook.com. And if you're reading along, for example, in Chapter 8, Section 3, and you say, well, I want more information on this, you go to the website and you enter into the portal, and you'll find it for Chapter 8, Section 3. There will be a set of internet web links that will lead you into gaining more information. So I'm using the internet to expand upon the information, give you more details on Absolute Anarchy on that. After I finished my work with Absolute Anarchy, my editor told me I should get into fiction. It's a different animal altogether. But I started writing a typical prepper type of book with the bug out scenario of having to make your way through the woods or whatever to get to the bug out location and that sort of thing. And I expanded upon it as I began through writing it. I used it's called Islam Rising. I'm sorry, let me back that. It's Islam Rising. It's actually 2 books in one. It has one book. It's not a prepper book disguised as a novel, but it's a novel that includes like an overview, or I guess sort of a subplot that would explain or give you an idea of what the ideal situation would be for survival. The ideal survival situation would be your bug out location, a militia, cooperation from the people within the community, the outlying community. And I've also, after I started writing it, I took 2.5 years to write it because I used it as a tool to learn how to write fiction. added, I saw some things going on with the Islamization of Europe, and things that's going on with the Muslims here in the United States, Canada, Australia, and other parts of the world. And so I incorporated a second sort of parallel story that interface to one another in this book. This is the first in a 5-book series. The next book, I'm about half finished with it, will expand and bring closer together the Islamic portion of it, and it just gets deeper into putting the Islamic portion of it in with the plot for what happens during the collapse. This book 1 is Islam Rising, takes you up to the collapse. Book 2 will take you from the beginning of the collapse and forward, and there will be 3 and 4 books. 3, 4, and 5 will take you closer and closer to having a war between the patriots and the what I call infidels. The Muslims themselves are the infidels in this particular book. And the name of the series title is Patriots and Infidels. I won't take any more time to go through what books 2 and 3 are, but let's just say that book 5 ends up with the lower third of the United States under Patriot control, the upper 2/3 of the United States of America and Canada all under Islamic control, and that will bring about, there will be a humongous war between those two. That's about all I can say about it. I don't want to give anything away, but there will be a huge battle between the Muslims and the Patriots in the series, in the last book.